Hi, everyone. It's Savidge from KTVU, Fox 2 News here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And right now here in Northern California, we are dealing with some of the largest fires our state has ever seen. Tens of thousands of people forced out of their homes, but there are also a whole lot of pets, other animals who have been affected by these fires, and they need some help as well. One of the people who is involved in the effort to help these animals find a safe place to stay, Buffy Martin Tarbox with the Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA. Buffy, really good to have you on here today. I know you and your organization and other organizations are doing a tremendous amount of work to help animals. How many animals have you taken in from the fires? How are they doing?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having us, Alex. So at this time, we actually are housing 83 what we call companion animals, which are essentially pet animals at our shelter in San Mateo. And so we have cats, dogs, we have some pet birds, we have several pet snakes, we even have some chickens, we have some lizards, and because we're an open door shelter, so we accept any possible type of animal, and that also includes wildlife. So at our Coyote Point shelter, we are caring for 83 of these animals that have been forced from their homes with their humans from the evacuation zones. And these are, animals that at this time just don't really have any other place to stay. It is very challenging to find pet-friendly hotels in the area, as we know. And so it's one of the services that we're offering to the community, essentially 30 days of free sheltering, completely free of charge at our shelter. And so then they can, we'll care for them, provide them what we call TLC. Our volunteers and our staff are making sure that all of their needs are being taken care of. We also have a lot of wildlife that are coming in from the evacuated zones that we're caring for at our wildlife care center. Right now, we're primarily seeing some of the migratory birds like geese, and then lots of baby squirrels. We're expecting more animals because, the wild animals are having to literally flee their homes. Unlike the domestic animals who have people who can remove them from their homes to safety, their homes are being burnt up. So they're fleeing. We're starting to see, more of those animals coming from the fire zones.
Some of those pets that you talk, or some of the animals that you talk about who are trying to get out of these fire zones and are winding up with you for care, have any of them been injured in any way as they try to escape?
Not that we've seen so far. We're sure as the fires continue to rage that that's going to become a real possibility. Certainly there's been some dehydration, some smoke inhalation, problems with that, like some respiratory issues with some of the animals, but all treatable and all manageable at this time. And then we are also working with local county governments and also several other organizations and the Cow Palace based in Daly City, house evacuated barn animals and large animals. And that's everything from horses to chickens to peacocks. There's even some peacocks now at the Cow Palace, and certainly like goats. And then 33 cattle arrived over the weekend, and they're continuing to receive animals as well.
Yeah, so that's an ideal space. That's obviously for folks that from outside of the area. That's one of the old arenas that it doesn't get a whole lot of use these days. But there's a lot of space there for those larger animals.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect that that is now being turned into the shelter for those type of animals, because at our animal shelter in San Mateo County, we just don't really have the space to house that many large animals. So the Cow Palace is the perfect refuge for these animals that are fleeing the fire zones.
All right, so it does sound like you get the sense with the size of these fires. I know you watch. We have several large fires, some of the largest we've ever seen in our state here. So it's going to take a long time to put them out. As you talked about, you're offering 30 days of free care here. What is the process for hopefully sometime soon being able to reunite some of the evacuees with their pets? How does that all work?
Right, so we've had some of the pet animals at our Coyote Point shelter that have already been reunited with their owners. Either the owners have been able to, find pet-friendly housing, or, that they've just been able to kind of sort themselves out. So they've, been able to come and take their animals. We've also had many other pet owners who do have housing, temporary housing, but they need supplies. And because they were perhaps only given an hour's notice to evacuate. And so they're just grabbing whatever they can. They're grabbing their pets, and you're not thinking, I need to get dog food, I need to get cat litter, you know. And so we've been able to provide that. And we have put a call out to our community to please donate, you know, pet supplies. Specifically, we're only looking for unopened pet food that includes cat and dog food, and then also cat litter, clean blankets, clean towels, and clean newspapers, because we need the newspapers to line the kennels and such. So those are the only things at this time that we can really accept that we need.
Okay. Also, I mean, if somebody sees this and they want help in the effort to care for these animals right now during the fires, I mean, I'm sure there are easy ways to make a donation, right?
Absolutely. You know, I mean, at this time, we have all of the volunteers that we need. We have a very large volunteer base anyway at the Peninsula Humane Society and SPCA. And so if anyone wants to volunteer, we're putting them on a list. And then if we require more volunteers, we'll definitely reach out to them. But one of the things that we definitely need is, aside from the in-kind donations that I just described a little bit ago, is certainly financial contributions. You know, it takes a lot of human power and a lot of money to care for these animals. We're prepared to do it, you know, but we definitely, you know, could use some financial support. So if anyone is interested in donating, you know, any amount, $5, any amount helps for the animals. You can go to our website at phs-sbca.org. You can make a financial contribution for the animals that have been affected by the wildfires.
All right, Buffy. I mean, I know that you're, you know, certainly at the Peninsula Humane Society, you're not new to this. None of us, you know, here in California, unfortunately, given the last few years and fires we've seen, we're not new to these evacuations. I know you've done this before, but right now, you know, given the magnitude of these fires and the fact that we have several large fires burning at the same time, you know, the demand for your services care for pets, is this as high as it's ever been? I mean, is this the most pets you've had to take in from fires?
It sure feels like it. You know, I mean, it's a massive fire, and it's not just in San Mateo County and on the borders of Santa Cruz County. As you said, it's everywhere. And so, you know, it definitely feels like there's a lot more happening on our end. We've literally been on the ground ever since the fire started last Tuesday. We have a very special team of volunteers called our Emergency Disaster Volunteer Team, and they're highly trained for exactly this sort of event. You know, they receive training, they're constantly training to deploy in any case of a natural disaster or, you know, human-made disaster, such as like a terrorist attack or something like that, you know, to help animals. We're basically the first responders when it comes to animals in San Mateo County. So literally within an hour or so of this fire starting, we mobilized that team, and they were on the ground helping to evacuate animals out of the fire areas. So, you know, and we're prepared for it, but we always hope that we never have to activate, you know, of course. And certainly we've been activated for going on exactly a week now.
Yeah, well, goodness, you're there to respond in this way. You know, it strikes me, obviously, you know, all of the people that were watching heading to shelters, leaving their houses in a hurry, as you talked about. I mean, it's a difficult thing to go through emotionally. It's very taxing for humans. So my question is, I mean, how traumatizing do you think this is for people's pets, for animals that are forced out of their home like this? Are you able to pick up on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly very scary in that sense, you know, for the animals, because they've been in their homes and all of a sudden you're literally fleeing your homes. Your human is scared. You're picking up on the energy with, you know, with your human. But, you know, we're doing everything that we can to keep, you know, the animals calm, to let them know that they're safe, you know, to provide them with TLC. Our volunteers are working around the clock. Our staff are working around the clock, you know, to take care of not only the animals from the evacuation zones, but the animals that are at our shelter that are available for adoption. You know, because even though we're very active on the front lines of the fire and the evacuation zones, we still have other work to do. You know, we still have our animal rescue and control officers out, you know, doing non-fire related calls. You know, we still have animals that need to be rescued from tricky situations. We still have people, you know, dropping off stray animals. We still need to go out and pick up strays. We still need to care for wildlife. You know, we still need to find homes for the animals, and people are still coming in to adopt, which is great. You know, we cannot stop doing the other, you know, animal related business that we're in charge of doing. This is an additional duty that we've taken on.
Yeah, I think that's an important duty because, you know, I think sometimes maybe it falls by the wayside a little bit. I think everyone's really appreciative that we have organizations like yours that are there to respond and give these pets a safe place to be in the middle of a crisis like this. So really appreciate you taking the time, sharing some of the work that you're doing. And once again here, Buffy, if people want to help here, they can drop off food if they would like to in person, or make a donation. And remind everyone the ways they can help.
Yeah, so the best resource to find out ways to help the animals that have been affected by the wildfires is to go to our website, and that's phs-spca.org. You can find ways to donate in-kind contributions, such as pet food. You can see exactly what it is that we need and where we're asking you to drop it off at. And if you are able to make a financial contribution, you can donate securely online at our website as well.
Okay. I'm sure a lot of folks would like to help out. We really appreciate you taking the time. Appreciate the work you and your colleagues are all doing there. Buffy Martin, Carbox, Peninsula Humane Society, PCA. Thanks for coming on and talking about this really important one. Appreciate it. I'm Alex Savidge from KTVU, Fox 2 News in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'll talk to you next time.